Any Apple diehard will tell you that some things just cannot be expressed on a spec sheet. These je ne sais quois of usability or industrial design can elevate the experience of using an object, be it a phone or a pair of premium toenail clippers, from merely practical to ethereal. But at what cost? Well, it turns out the answer is $2,500. Introducing the Book One from Porsche Design, a laptop designed to get your motor running. And I'll tell you about it right after we keep the LTT motor running with this message from Zotac. Zotac's ZBox PCs are great for applications like streaming and gaming. They feature Intel 7th generation core processors in tiny form factors. Check them out at the link below. Okay, so the industrial design is pretty impressive. It's got a matte anodized aluminum chassis with soft chamfers and polished edges, and all 1580 grams of it looks and feels amazing when closed, with a hinge design that is, subjectively anyway, among the best that we've seen on a 2-in-1. It's got just the right amount of resistance and goes all the way around without requiring you to take the screen off first or leaving a weird gap like the Microsoft Surface Book does. By the way, Porsche Designs claims that the hinge design was inspired by the gearbox of a sports car. But I think it's just as likely that the marketing department thought of that after the fact. Anywho, that's not the only trick up its sleeve. Like the Surface Book, and incidentally, the Starship Enterprise, Book One can also be separated from its base entirely and used as a tablet by holding down the eject button on the side and pulling it apart, a process that is slightly less jank than the Surface Book. The 13.3-inch 16:9 screen is actually pretty nice with a 3200 by 1800 QHD Plus resolution and 10-point multi-touch, along with support for the 4096 pressure level Book One pen by Wacom that looks as cool as the rest of the product and that can apparently run for 8 months off of its fun-sized quadruple A battery. The I/O is probably best described as thoughtful. I mean, there isn't a ton of it, but it's really well placed. The base has a USB-C port that lets the Book One charge in just 2 hours, then 2 more USB 3.0 ports for regular stuff and a micro SD slot for expansion. Then the tablet portion has a very welcome Thunderbolt 3 port, a 5-megapixel camera with IR for Windows Hello, and a headphone jack that doesn't leave the cord floating in the air like Microsoft's design. So, as advertised, it's all pretty and premium, right? Well, not so fast. We did find a few skid marks on this road. While the keyboard is easy to type on, the keycaps are smaller than the keys on the Surface Book because the gaps between the keys aren't as finely milled, meaning that you actually have a little bit less keyboard in the same footprint. The keys themselves also seem to have a bit of a resistance right at the top of the stroke that puts the typing experience a bit on the fatiguing side if you have dainty fingers like I do. As for the Microsoft Precision Certified touchpad, well, it's big, works beautifully, and actually handles very similarly to the one on the Surface Book. Except that on the Porsche Designs, it makes this noise that, well, I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. Finally, the suspension is a little looser than I'd prefer. The screen has enough bezel that you'd think it has like an extra touch bar on it or something. And because of the way the hinge is designed, the detached tablet has asymmetrical corners. Now, this stuff may sound pretty nitpicky, but this is the kind of scrutiny that you expose yourself to when you charge a premium for your premium design. So should you buy this notebook? Maybe. But not before we take a pit stop to talk about the internals. The Book One had really good specs when it launched, but that was back in April. And yes, I know we're like way late on this thing, but we wanted to check it out anyway because it's cool. The point though is that was before Ryzen Mobile, or Coffee Lake were things that existed. As it is today, Everything but the dual-core CPU holds up pretty well. And thermals are pretty good, as a half hour of stress testing in AIDA64 never made her throttle, and noise-wise, she never stood out against our office's HVAC. But you might have noticed that I never specified what graphics card is inside, and that is because there's no discrete graphics. So no, you won't be able to play Mankind Divided at 1080p, even on low settings, making it kind of hard to recommend the Book 1, since the new Surface Book 2 has an 8th gen Core i7 processor and a GTX 1050 for about the same price. Back to whether to buy then. I'm the kind of person who would prefer a graphics card to a sexy hinge and a sexy design. But Porsche Designs clearly believes that there is more to the device experience than raw horsepower, and we'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Which one would you lean towards? III's modular TMA2 headphone system is going wireless. They're launching the H05, their new wireless Bluetooth pair of headphones. Now, the TMA2 features more than 1,000 possible configurations, meaning that you can create your own personalized product that fits your specific needs, while being able to change individual parts along the way. Now, existing TMA2 users, you guys are actually gonna really love this because you are not left out in the cold. You can upgrade to wireless while keeping your original sound preferences. So check it out now through the link in the video description. Say goodbye to headphone obsolescence. So thanks for watching, guys. If you disliked this video, you can hit that button. But if you liked it, hit like, get subscribed, maybe consider checking out where to buy the stuff we featured at the link in the video description. Also down there, we've got our merch store, which has cool shirts like this one, as well as our community forum, which you should totally join.